Thank you for tuning in to Black Friday Live. I'm your special guest host, Linnell Taylor, filling in for Dr. Diop. And it is my pleasure to be here today. I have with me Mr. Ronnie Stevens, the president of the San Antonio Ethnic Art Society. And he's going to fill us in on all that they have going on in the Art Society, how you can become a member, and just lots of good information, good things going on in the city. So we're going to start. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Myself, I grew up in San Antonio through elementary. I went to CUNY Elementary, and that's pretty much where my art career started, on brown paper bags. But I'm a graduate of Breckenridge High School in 1974, and I transferred to college in California in 74.
So when you talk about brown paper bags, that's an old term that maybe some young heads may not know about. What do you mean?
Brown paper bags, when you would go to the store before plastic bags, they would give us brown paper bags to carry your groceries in. And there was a shortage of art supplies, so to speak, so I had an unlimited supply of art paper with the brown paper bags.
Okay. So you turned something that was a household necessity into art, and that's where it all began.
Absolutely.
Okay. What would you say is one of your most memorable pieces going back to maybe your childhood or when you discovered you had the gift of art?
I had an aunt that was a school teacher, and at that time she taught school in Portland, Oregon. And in the late 50s, you could possibly teach school and bring a child with you and sit them in the corner, and they could occupy themselves. She would give me a letter wrote in cursive and a blank piece of paper, and I can remember drawing the little curly cues, but actually what I was doing was I guess drawing the letters, so to speak, and I could write my name in cursive in the first grade. But that was my first, I would say, memory of art, so to speak.
Well, that's a good thing. He said writing his name in cursive in the first grade. They don't even teach cursive these days, so that's a good thing. Tell us a little bit about your role as president. How long have you been with the San Antonio Ethnic Art Society and in this position as president?
Okay, as I said, I graduated from Breckenridge in 1974, and I went to college in Los Angeles. I went to El Camino. I attended Otis Parsons, which is where Charles White, the renowned Charles White, taught years ago. I only took a portfolio preparation class, but I went. Nonetheless, I decided to move back to San Antonio in 1999, and to take care of my elderly relatives, but in doing so, my art career, I was able to accomplish everything I wanted to and more. When I immediately came back to San Antonio, the first thing on my mind was, where would I find the African American artists? Where do they display? And I so happened to stop by Dr. Leo Edwards' office, and at that time he was displaying work of the San Antonio Ethnic Art Society, and he arranged for me to come to one of their openings, and I met the then President Claudette Hopkins, and they looked at my art. They allowed me to join the group. This was in 1999. I've been a member for 20 years, but
Amazing.
The San Antonio Ethnic Art Society has been in existence for over 30 years with such members as Doc Spellman, John Coleman, Paul Hurd, Gracie
So
Poe.
some legends.
Yes,
Some
indeed.
San Antonio legends.
Yes,
well
indeed.
known. Okay. Well, you mentioned Los Angeles, and I know the first time that I met you, you were on your way to Los Angeles to do a tour. But you mentioned that when you came to San Antonio, you were looking for where are the African American artists. When you think back to when you were in California, would you say that there was a larger demographic of African American artists in Los Angeles versus San Antonio, or was it about the same?
The demographics were the same. The difference was the solidarity amongst the African Americans in the community. They made a conscious effort to have our art displayed to depict our history, and I wanted to know if that same opportunity was available in San Antonio. And in looking for that, I was able to introduce certain ideas. I do the Pan African Film Festival in Los Angeles every February. That's like our Sundance Film Festival,
Okay,
as
for
you will, for Black artists, film and arts. And that's where it begins. From there, it goes to Atlanta and so have you. But I do it every February, and I try to bring some of those ideas back to San Antonio.
Is the Essence Fest a part of that organization? I know you've gone to many different places, or is that unique to itself?
The Pan African Film Festival is unique to itself. The Essence Festival is separate from the Pan African Film Festival.
Because I know you used to do that one as well, right?
Yes, I've done it about 3 or 4 years, but it seems to me of late that they've gotten away from the arts and they're leaning more toward the music,
That's
if you
true.
will.
That is true. And there is a need for art. What advice would you give to a young person fulfilling their artistic career,
I would
especially here in San Antonio?
actually, I will take a quote from Maya Angelou. It says, do what you have a passion for, do it and do it so well that people can't take their eyes off of you. And all the tangible rewards will come as a result. Meaning, do what you do and just try to excel at it and pour yourself into it. And if you apply yourself like that, eventually someone will take notice and it will take care of itself.
It will eventually pay off. So on the flip side, for parents who may have artistically gifted kids that are writing on the walls, or every time they look at them, they're doodling or painting their clothes and their tennis shoes, what advice would you give to parents who may not understand it, who are seeing it as graffiti or it's not art? How would you help them better understand their kids?
We, the San Antonio Ethnic Art Society, we have a scholarship program for all ethnicities to go to our website, and we give scholarships for 5 to 6 students per year. We take them from junior high all the way to high school.
Okay.
We tutor them, expose them to the different arts, and try to find out which way they're leaning. But it's free of
Charge. You can't
charge.
beat that. So free of charge. They can come, have a scholarship.
And they actually work with artists. And I look back when I was that age. I can't say that opportunity was available to me in San Antonio, but I'd like to think of how much further I would have developed with to be able to work hand in hand with a real artist. So this is what we try to give back to the community.
Okay. So on that note, for parents who you wonder, like, why is my child always drawing and marking things up and cutting clothes? They may have a unique gift. So you hear free is the key. Scholarship. Try it out. It never hurts to try. You may find that they have that gift and can perfect it. So before we get out of here today, I know that you all have an event coming up that you're going to be a part of, and you're going to be at the 5th Annual Art and Soul, something I know a little something about. the True Legends of Jazz edition. And can you just tell us what can the visitors and concert goers see from the Ethnic Art Society?
There will be a variety of artists. We have sculptors, we have artists that actually do spoken word. We've done that before, but for the visual arts, you have artists that work in all mediums, from pastel to charcoal to oil painting to you name it. And hopefully we'll bring some originals and prints of the work. And
So they can bring their credit cards and bring their cash because they'll be able to buy some pieces and leave with them.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. And just a little bit, why this concert? Why this concert? Are you a jazz fan? Because sometimes people say that music and art go together, or that music is art.
that it is. As a matter of fact, the theme of my art is mostly jazz musicians. I'm so looking forward to, I remember growing up in college with Lonnie Liston Smith and Ronnie Laws. It's an awesome venue and an excellent opportunity.
Well, I thank you for taking time out to be here with us today. If we have viewers who would like to get in touch with you, find out more about the Art Society, maybe make donations, how do they get in touch with you?
They can go online to the San Antonio Ethnic Art Society, and our website and contact information will come up. And they can touch bases with the plethora of artists to whichever venue they want to take.
All right, well, you heard it right here from Mr. Ronnie Stephens, president of the San Antonio Ethnic Art Society. And I have seen his work. We have quite a bit of it right here in this studio. You don't want to miss it. So they will be at the 5th Annual Art and Soul. You can purchase art, a full variety of art that will be on display. We look forward to seeing you there. And again, thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you.
I'm Linnell Taylor, and you are